Okay, good afternoon, everyone. How you doing today? All righty. Well, here I am, Sandy, your biz strategist, and we're coming here to talk to one of my clients, and he's a three-time business launcher. And look, we're actually two businesses and one nonprofit, and he's an innovator, and he's going to tell you and share with you some things that he has done, how he's gotten there, and how Sandy, biz strategist, how I've helped him get there, and how, I mean, really, like I tell him all the time, I'm just 20% of his company. And the reason why I say that, because he's 80%, because he had to do the work, he had to put in the time, and his mindset had to shift and change in order for him to get there. His name is Mr. Carlos Polke. So let's welcome him and let him share with us some things that we're going to talk about today, and him, how he launched three businesses, how he did it with his mindset, advice he's going to share with you, and I'm going to ask him some questions along the way. So let you formally introduce your own self, Carlos, so everybody can kind of know your backstory, because every business has a story, and he's going to share his with us. So let's begin, and then I want you to share your testimonial with, and I'm going to ask you some questions about how, how we help you here at Biz Strategist Sandy, really, aka Push the Dream Enterprise. Okay, all righty. You got the floor now, Carlos.
First of all, I would like to thank you for allowing me to be on your broadcast today. It's
Oh,
truly an honor. I just want to thank you.
oh, you're welcome, and thank you for being a client, because hey, that's why we're here. Because we formed that relationship. Yes.
Yes, yes. Well, about 5 years ago, I worked at a lumber yard. And for those of you that don't know, this lumber yard consists of trusses. If you don't know what a truss is, if you ever seen a house frame or a business with 2x4s, it's that triangular frame that sits on top of the frame of the house or business. Well, my job consists of stacking truss. And a lot of times what we would do, we would cut 2x4s into blocks, and we would sit the truss on the blocks.
Mm.
Smaller jobs, and then you have the 50 footers. The problem with this is when we get big jobs, and once the job is finished, we only use standard forklifts. So depending on the weight of the job, the forklifts were not able to pick it up. So they would have to push the truss off the blocks to the pavement. Once we banded the job up, and they had to push it because they couldn't pick it up, either to be pushed to the side to be shipped the next day, or load the truck. The bands would pop, and it would destroy the truss on the bottom of the job. So now they have to go back into their resources. The wood they've already had ordered or shipped in, they had to use that wood to redo the jobs. They had to do the jobs over. Well, anyway, I've noticed that the bands will pop and bottom jobs will get destroyed.
Oh, wow.
So now we have to redo the job that was destroyed. So now they're losing money. So I was like, there got to be a better way.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be a better way that we can stack these trusts without having to go in back and redoing the jobs all over again.
Right.
Saving the company money and saving me time from having to restack the same jobs. So my wheels got to turning in my mind. And I saw truss rollers. I'm not going into details, but that idea was birthed at a lumber yard.
Mm-hmm.
It was a solution to a problem. Mm-hmm. It was a solution to companies that will have to go back into their resources, thus losing money. So that's how truss rollers was started. Well, I'm fast forwarding. I moved to another state.
Uh-huh.
It was really heavy on my mind about that idea.
Mm-hmm.
So during this time, I was working at a Well, actually, I still am working at a janitorial service.
Mm-hmm.
So I began to go and Google invention companies, companies that will bring your idea to life.
Mm-hmm.
So I did my research and I found a company that I felt like it could help bring forth my idea. So I reached out to them and I talked with the people and I liked what they talked about and I looked at the research and I saw everything. So I went ahead and I took a leap of faith.
Mm-hmm.
And I started off with $50, Sandy.
Wow.
$50 that I borrowed from
Yeah.
my cousin. Because
It,
I had just started working at the cleaning service. So I really didn't have no money saved like I wanted to.
right.
So I borrowed $50 from my cousin and I started just like that. And
Wow.
so
With your invention now. You
my
started your invention.
with my invention, I started with $50. So
Wow.
now, mind you, I know nothing about business. I got this vision. All I know is I got a vision. I got something that I got to offer that companies will have need of, and I started with that. So I was like, I need somebody to help me to take it to the next level because I don't know nothing about business. I don't started on my idea. I'm making it happen, but I still need a business plan. So I reached out to a friend of mine. I asked her, do you know anybody that does grants? And she was like, well, I don't know nobody, but I can ask around. So it was a guy that she knew that knew you. So
Wow.
that's how I connected with Miss Sandy. And
Wow.
the rest is history. But
Wow.
we're gonna touch on that. But I just want to pretty much lay the foundation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's awesome. That's an awesome story because guess what? You know what? It's all in who. It ain't what you know. It's who you know. And like you said, it's always business is always the best way to market your business, to have your business is word of mouth. And I remember you and I having that first call. You talked to me. You reached out to me. I think you inboxed me on Facebook, Messenger. I think it was. I
Yes.
think it was. Yeah. And then we set up a Zoom meeting and you and I met. Remember that? We met and we,
Irma. Yes.
yeah. And then you said, well, when I get ready, reach back to you. I get back with you. And you did.
Yes.
It was
Yes.
like 2 months later. And it's been like, what, about 3 years ago. And
About
you
3 years.
did.
Yes.
About 3 years ago. And I said, okay. I said, well, here's my information. And, you and I talked and we kind of did a discovery call, a
Yes.
discovery meeting. And you told me your vision and I shared with you what I can help you do and that kind of thing. And I mean, and now, like you said, the rest is history. And look at you
Yes.
now. You're 3 business late, 3 years and three businesses later. Wow.
Yes.
I
Yes.
thank God. And when you and I met, I thank God that I was just grateful that you were obedient and listening to because sometimes people they procrastinate and they don't move when it's time to move or they don't reach out and they don't try to take that next step and the next level to what they want to do. They don't take action like you and I talked about earlier today. They don't take action. And you took action and look at the results. Yeah, look at the
Yes.
results. I'm so grateful that you was that person. And I know you said that you hated your job. Well, you can tell that story yourself. You can tell that
Yes.
story yourself, but I know that when if the mind can believe it, it can achieve it. That's
Achieve it. Yes.
yeah, so you believed in yourself, and like you said, you only had y'all. Did y'all hear that? He said he only had $50, but he did not let that discourage him because he knew it was going to take more than that to a get your invention out there and get it launched, and then two, you needed somebody to help you in business. And by God, I'm gonna tell you, guys, he and I, I explained to him what it was going to cost him. He didn't hesitate. We set up a payment plan, and he
Yes.
worked it out. And guess what? He didn't make any excuses or no, I can't do it. I'm telling you, he did not play with his vision and he respected he respected the business and the contract that he and I came into an agreement with. And I mean, I don't know, it's not a perfect world and I know things happen or whatever, but Carlos, you did it. And I'm just proud of, you did it. You followed my instructions when I asked you to do certain things pertaining to your business. You did it. and in a timely manner. And you was prepared. Preparation plus preparation plus opportunity equals success.
That's true. That's true. That is so true.
Yeah. So I want you to get before we go any further. I want you to tell the people, you know, tell the people about your job there. You said you was just really you didn't like your job. To kind of elaborate and look and tell them how was you feeling when you knew it was time to do something different.
Well, I worked on that job for about 5 years, and like I say, it was days I had to work in the sun. When it rained, I had to get soaking wet. I mean, no matter how the weather was, I had to work in it. It was strenuous, and every day was like, I hate going to this job. I was miserable. And one day, as I was working, I looked around and I took accountability and I said to myself, you're responsible for your life. If you want to be somewhere you've never been before or do something you've never done, you have to make up your mind and do what it takes. And when I made up my mind,
Yeah,
Sandy,
come
and I
on.
said, I can't blame nobody but myself. I
Wow.
can't blame nobody because I made decisions. I'm pretty sure we all made some decisions that we regret. But my current situation had to change.
Yeah.
So when I changed my mindset,
Ooh,
that's when things began to move forward for me.
wow.
That's when I began to even before I moved to the Georgia. I was currently in Jacksonville, Florida. I began to allow myself to put myself in position for even the transition.
Right.
So once I changed my mindset, my goal was heading towards my future. I had an idea and I had a plan. So I began to go to work in the midst of that heat, that rain. It didn't bother with me because I knew I had a goal. I knew that I had a purpose. I knew that there was greatness inside of me. There was business inside of me. There was ideas inside of me that
Mm,
had to be birthed.
yeah,
So once I changed my mindset,
that's
I
it.
moved forward. I
Yeah,
moved forward. And I think we all have to have a mindset to want to move forward.
yeah,
You know, things will get difficult. You know, it's not going to be easy, but if you have the right mindset, you can do anything.
yes. Y'all heard
Yeah,
that? You can do anything if you got the right mindset. Yes, 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 yes. Because had you been stuck in that same stinking thinking, we wouldn't even be having this conversation right now.
that's true.
Yeah,
That's
we
true.
would. Yeah. Now you pretty much mentioned. I think we kind of talked about one of the basically just tell us what are your three businesses, what are your businesses. You can just you don't have to get into them, just tell them what they are. Yeah, that's the first thing. Just tell us what they are. What is your three businesses?
My first business is Trust Roll. That consists of rollers that locks on trust. So trust companies don't have to worry about their job getting destroyed as they ship either the job on the truck to be sent to the job site, or they're going to just push the job aside until it's time for their job to be shipped. And also, truss rollers also can be used for moving. Say, for instance, someone has dressers or a couch. It can lock and they can roll it to where they need to go. So that's my first job. My second job is on Carlos cleaning service,
Yes.
which uh, I clean businesses or homes, whatever they call me, and if I'm able to do it, we make it big. That's what I do. I'm a cleaning service. My second business is a nonprofit, and that consists of going in the community, reaching out to those that are less fortunate, feeding, or clothing, even helping out with building their homes or remodeling their homes. So these are the three businesses that I have, and I always try to give my business an assignment. That's just me. The assignment of my business is to have the resources to do the things I need to do for others.
Mm.
Yes.
Wow. And you said you mentioned to me one time that you were going to use, your businesses to you were going to use your businesses to fund your nonprofit. I mean, and also
Yes,
you will probably definitely be reaching out for other support, but that won't be your
yes.
nonprofit won't survive. You know what I'm saying? It won't have to survive off of the donations.
Is exactly. And you know what? I'm glad you said it. Because my thing is this. This is just me, and I honor, I respect every leader out there. But as a minister or in ministry, a lot of times we like the refunds, the resources are the funds to do things that we need to do, and we always have to depend on people. There's nothing wrong with that, but for me, I said, well, I know I have something to offer. I know that if other people have businesses, why can't I have my own businesses and
Right.
have the resources to do the things I need to do in the community and not having to always ask people for donations? I
Yeah.
don't knock people that do that, but I just felt like that as for me, I didn't always want to just stay on chicken dinners and fish dinners. I
Oh,
felt like that I had more to offer. I felt like that there was entrepreneurship in me that I didn't have to always have to depend on the people to keep my nonprofit afloat, but I can utilize the tap into what God has put on inside of me
exactly.
and use my faith and apply my faith
Mhm.
and get the business established. So now I
Hallelujah.
have the solution to someone's problem to
Yeah.
have the resources to come in to do the work that I need to do in the community and support myself and my family.
Yeah, yeah, that's all
Yes,
right. All right. Now that's I'm clapping because I think that is the example of a true leader. Because
yes,
yeah, you definitely I mean, and your nonprofit is I mean, the things that you're going to be doing it it's it's mind blowing and it's neat.
yes, yes,
Yeah, and
yes,
it's needed. And God is going to bless trussa rollers and he's going to bless the cleaning business because you are giving back. Now, and like I said, passion and profit should coincide with each other. And the reason why I say you don't just start a business just on profit. No, I mean on passion because your passion is what you got to endure. If you got a passion about a business, you got to endure because it's hard out here in the business world. And don't let nobody fool you by no stretch of the imagination. But what Carlos has done, he realized his passion is to help others, but he's just not going to just say, okay, I'm going to start a nonprofit. He's going to do something that's going to be he's passionate about, and that was his invention. And something else he's passionate about, and it's a skill set for him is his cleaning business. So you see what I'm saying? You see the correlation, and then he's doing something even more that he's passionate about, meaning his life is purposeful. I mean, this is an interview, but this is also meant. I can show you the greatness of the goodness of God and the greatness of him in what Carlos has even decided to do because he's doing it all. He's not begging. He's not walking around here begging for you to help him with his passion. He's taking the profit from his other passions and making this ultimate passion for God happen. He's working for God at the same time he's making a profit. You see? So here in this whole conversation, if y'all lost it, you know what? Rewind it and think about it over. You think what? Go back and just hear what I'm saying to you. But Carlos, I just thank you for having that particular mindset, and that's an example of a leader. It's an example of leadership, whether nobody ever tell you or not. Now, um, I think did I ask you, just elaborate on it? What made you come up with the vision for? You did mention that. What made you come up with the vision for? Because you saw the need. There was a need, and you feel the need. Um,
yes.
yeah. And what made you already said that too. What made you reach out to me? We already talked about that. Is and what are the benefits of working with me? I don't think we touched
Well,
on that. What are
the
the benefits?
benefit is actually connecting with you. I knew that I wanted to help people on a greater scale.
Uh-huh.
a lot of times people, you have to be careful when you listen to people, because I told people, well, people was telling me 501c3 is not a good thing. But these were people that never had their own business. They
Yeah.
were just going by what other people say.
Hmm.
But when I connected with you, you explained to me, you talked to me, you was telling me how it worked. Why should I get 501c3? It's going to help you in your business. So actually, Sandy, you opened me up to that arena. You
Right.
opened me up to the LLC. You opened me up to the business. You opened me up to the business license. So connecting with you actually pulled out stuff that was in me that I didn't even know. It
Wow.
challenged me to come up even higher in my mindset. Read books
Wow.
that's going to help me for where I'm going.
Yeah.
So connecting with you helped me to grow, and I'm still growing and I'm still learning.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, or sometimes, people can be doors. You connect with them, you connect with the right person.
Yeah.
It helps push you to destiny. It helps pull those things that's in you out of you. I didn't know I had 3 businesses in. I
And you
was just
know
so,
that.
yes, I received that. I received it. But
Yeah.
in connecting with Sandy, pulled 2 extra business out of me. And I thought I didn't have the what it takes to even consider myself, to apply myself for those businesses. But I had it. It was in me all along.
Yeah.
And it drove me to want to move forward. And every time I got discouraged, I said, I can't just stay here. I said that I have these businesses. These businesses have assignment, so I got to keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So
It's
it was you actually saying that helped me get to this place where I'm at.
oh,
Honestly,
well, I mean,
yes,
it was God. It was God. The God in me worked to help you. That's all it is.
yes, yes,
I can't take any credit for that.
yes,
It was God. It was God. It was because I pray and I ask him all the time. God, I get on my knees and I pray. I say, God, send the people, right people to me that I can help, and that will be a blessing for your kingdom. That's anybody else. They're not my people. You know, everybody has people that they have to coach. You know, they can help with businesses, but I don't want to. Everybody ain't for me, and I ain't for everybody. You know,
yes,
when it comes to business. So I just think that you were obedient and listened to what he shared with you. You know, those to even listen to the voice and be obedient to even. I mean, it's mind blowing how you called me, and then I didn't even realize that you had 3 businesses in you until until God brought it together, and
yes,
we were working on things, and you were talking about some things, and then one day I never forget, when you were talking and when we were wrapping up the first one, and then the Holy Spirit spoke to me and said, "Ask him about this. This is already a skill set for him." Just and I mentioned it to you, and I say just just think about it, and because it was led, I don't think I mentioned to you right then that the Holy Spirit was just talking to me, telling me to tell you that, but he was. And I just said, and and I think later on, a few days later, you reached back to me, reached back out to me, and you say, yeah, Miss Sandy, I was thinking about what you said. And he said,
yes.
you remember that? You said, I was
I
thinking about
remember.
what you said.
I
I
remember.
said, yeah. I said, okay. So, I mean, I'm just in awe because and I always talk about multiple streams of income. And yes, you are well on your way, and your family's going to be blessed, and your legacy will live on because you're doing what it takes. And you said something about business license and LLCs and things like that. A lot of times we get out here and we start businesses and we don't have all those things in place. But we need those things in place if we're going to get contracts, if we're going to go to the next level. You know,
Yes,
this thing we're working on now, getting your bonding, your license and bonding for your cleaning service.
yes,
Now you can't take that to another level, your business to another level, to my license and bonding, if you don't even have those foundational pieces together. And see,
yes,
that's where we have to get out of, just I would say just throwing a just throwing something together and say we have a business. We got to do it. Put the legalese in the place, the legalities, and legalize that thing and put it in place. So where you
yes,
So where you can get these massive, you can get these contracts, and you can do other.
Yes.
You getting licensed and bonded, right? Because you're gonna.
Yes.
That's what you said. You say I want to do contracts. Nobody's gonna give you a contract if you don't have license. If you're not licensed and bonded, if you're not insured, you're not. You don't have. They don't have protection of their businesses, and then they take you serious when you do that. And
Yes.
if we get out of that and just let somebody come along and help us get there, we can get somewhere. You follow Carlos's lead and listen at what he's saying. Okay, now, before I go to the next question, anything you want to say?
No, no, I don't. I'm pretty much done said everything I need to say.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you, what obstacles have you had when you were launching your business? Like, was it anything with your job that because sometimes, let me say this before you answer that. Carlos he didn't quit his job to start his businesses. He was funding his job, funding his businesses through his employee, through his everyday 9 to 5. So, Carlos, what obstacles did you have when you were launching your businesses? What was going on? Is there anything that you want to share? Because it can be one or two things. It doesn't really have to be a conglomerate, a whole conglomerate. It doesn't have to be a plethora of things. Put it that way. Conglomerate.
Well,
I'm trying to say.
gotcha. My obstacle was managing my time.
All right. Okay.
I had to learn how to manage my time. I was talking to one of my friend of mine, dear friend of mine, and I needed some extra money to come in to do what I needed to do concerning the other business. So he was like, "Have you considered getting an extra job?" I was like, "No." I
Mm-hmm.
was like, but I sat down and I thought about it. So I went ahead and I did it. And I tell you, we have to realize a lot of times the road is not going to be easy. It's not going to be smooth. It's not supposed to be.
Right.
But are you willing to do what it takes to get you to the point? I often tell people, I'm paying the price now, so I don't have to pay the price later.
Ooh, that's a
So
word. That's a
I'm
word.
paying the price now that I don't have to work like I'm working. I was working like I was working because later on down the line, I'm established now. So now all the time that I put in, all the hours that I put in working like I was working, I don't have to work like that now because I was willing to pay that price. And
Wow.
you have to be willing to pay the price to get where you want to be in life because only you can hold your own self back. So if you're willing to pay the price and go through what you got to go through, you'll reap the benefits and the reward.
Woo, that's a word. Yeah, that's a word. Yeah, that is. And I think if a lot of people take that advice, what you just said, I believe we'll have more entrepreneurs. I mean, I believe we'll have more wealth creating, especially in the African American community. There will be more people creating and launching businesses and leaving legacies for their children and their children's children.
Yes.
If they follow what you just said. Now, what advice would you give others about living their dreams or starting their businesses or accomplishing, starting up launching a business? What would you tell others? What advice would you give them?
I would tell them to write their vision down, have try to keep the right mindset as much as possible, and the areas where you want to see yourself at are elevated. What business, wherever it is, start doing research on it, start reading on it, Google it, YouTube it, and when you find yourself discouraged, go back to that place. Go back to that place of seeing yourself in your future. Go back to that place of joy. Go back to that place of strength. And whenever you find yourself around negative people, as much as possible, stay away from them.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you don't have to, I have family members that are negative, but I love them, but I'm not gonna stay around that negativity.
Yeah.
So I try to connect with people that's already where I'm trying to be or trying to go where I'm going. So
Right.
you want to keep your atmosphere right. You want to keep your mind right, and you want to do your research. You wanna feed your mind where you're going. So that's what I would tell people.
Yeah. All right. And I think that's good. I think that's good advice. That is excellent advice. Excellent. Um, if you had to do it over again, what would you change about launching your business? What would you change? What would you do different this time about launching a business? Now that you know what you know, what would you do different?
I would have went to school and I
Mm-hmm.
would have got those courses on business.
Mm-hmm.
So when it came time for me to step into the business that I want to do, I would already have had the uh the knowledge and understanding to apply pertaining to what I was wanting to do. So I
And
definitely went to school first.
right.
Yeah.
And with that being said, Push to Dream University is going to have a school such as just that what he said. I'm working on that now. So that way.
Wow.
So Push the Dream University is coming soon, and that is exactly what he said. That's what we go. That's what Push the Dream University is going to be. It's going to be a school to help you. So had you gone through Push the Dream school or whatever, you wouldn't even needed me because it would have already been in the course. So here again with Carlos, there are some things that I'm so proud of you. I'm saying this publicly. I'm so proud of you because like I said, I'm 20%. You're the 80% because you had to take the leap of faith. You had to take action. You had to follow the course. You had to do what I assigned you homework and all these things. You had to make up in your mind and you were determined, you were disciplined. I mean, there's so many things that you were, so many adjectives I can use about you right now because you did the work and you persevered. And now and I remember one day you told me, you said, boy, it makes it, now that you had your momentum and you were doing the things that you needed to do, it made it so much easier for you to keep going, because
Yes.
your mind was expanded and you couldn't go back to that way of thinking that you had before once you
Yes. Yes.
told me that. Yeah, you mentioned that
Yes.
to me in one of our coaching sessions one time because
Yes.
he and I would have coaching meetings and he would do everything I would tell him to do. And a lot of times, there are certain things that I did, on his behalf for the business. And that's another thing. I always go the extra mile for you. And Carlos can tell you, sometimes
Definitely.
if he couldn't do certain things, I would, I said, yeah, I can go in and I can pick up like his business license of one. I went in and I said, I can just, I can give them to you myself. I can have them ready for you. And then I made sure I would, when we would have our meetings, I would have all of his things in
Yes.
his binder. And
Yes.
I told him to keep up with
Yes.
that stuff, keep everything organized. So, it's the little small things sometimes, guys, in business that makes a whole lot of difference.
And I would like to add something to that. That was definitely important because I was a little unorganized, and you coming with the binders and telling me how to have everything in order. I really needed that. Really benefited me, and I really needed that.
Good.
It taught me a lot about having a business mindset.
Right.
So I'm very thankful, and I'm still learning from you, and I'm gonna keep the mindset to learn. Even
Yeah.
had to learn about constructive criticism. I used to have a problem with that, but now I don't because see, you're gonna be faced with those challenges in the
Yeah.
business world, and you're gonna have to learn how to overcome those challenges with the right demeanor and the right attitude.
Yeah.
So,
Yes. He's on his way to success. And everybody, please give him a clap, give him a hand clap because it's not easy starting three businesses and you have no earthly idea. You didn't even have a clue about one business. So
yes,
he said it himself that he wasn't knowledgeable in that area. And I thank him for entrusting Push to Dream Enterprise, biz strategist Sandy, with his vision and his idea. So, Carlos, I know that you have plenty of things to do on this Saturday afternoon, June 26, 2021. So, we're going to sign off. And I really appreciate you doing this interview. So, people can
Appreciate you,
see,
Zane.
yeah, so people can see what it's like, what, how a person that's really, really doing it, how, what obstacles and what things that he's going through. Now, look, he don't get it wrong. Now, I'm sure he can attest to this and tell you himself that he feels so accomplished right about now, because he is
Yes,
accomplished. He's accomplished a lot, yeah, and still accomplishing more. So, yeah, so give God the glory. He deserves it all.
yes, he
Yeah,
does.
yeah,
Yes, he
yeah.
does.
So, alrighty, but I appreciate this interview, and if anybody have any questions, please reach out to us. You can reach out to me. I have the link in the bio, and then Carlos, just stay tuned, because we're gonna definitely be back when he's definitely going to be sharing with you some things that we're gonna just ask him some more things about his business, adventures, and some of his business ups and downs, even after the coronavirus era. We want to see how his business is, because we started most of starting these before the pandemic happened, and now
Yes,
we want to ask him how some things are going since the pandemic, and how he's going to shift and pivot in this new economy, and in this new way of doing things. So you'll be hearing more of him, along with some more of my other clients as well. Okay. Anything else, Carlos, before we sign off? Yeah.
I'm,
Okay.
I'm good. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All righty. Thank you so much. Okay. And I'm gonna turn this off, and then we can finish talking. Okay. All right. Let me
Okay.
get the broadcast. So hold on a second. All right,
Okay.
everybody. Thanks for being here. And Carlos will be definitely putting up more information about his businesses, as a few things, especially now with the Trusser roller. That's for companies. It won't be a consumer kind of item that he'll be selling. He's making this for the big boys. Okay. He's gonna be up there. Yeah. So anyway, and his nonprofit though, but we would definitely be talking about that once everything get launched with that, because he's going to be able to help a lot of people, and maybe you guys may know someone that needs some of his services. So we'll be definitely bringing those forth as things get, he found a building and other things like that. So we'll be revisiting this launch about that too as well. All right. So hold on. Thanks so much. Bye bye.